Rich people keep this in their kitchen, and their wealth keeps growing. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to attract wealth effortlessly, while others work hard but never seem to get ahead? The answer might be hiding in plain sight, right in your kitchen. In today's fast-paced world, your kitchen isn't just a place to cook meals. It's the energetic heart of your home, and whether you realize it or not, the way it's set up can either invite abundance or quietly block your path to success. The truth is, wealthy people don't just fill their kitchens with expensive appliances, they place specific items there for a reason. These items aren't just symbols, they're powerful tools that align your space with prosperity and flow. In this video, you'll uncover what the rich keep in their kitchens and how you can do the same to start shifting your energy, attracting more money, opportunities, and stability into your life. But first, take a moment to pause and set your intention. Comment below with something like, "I am ready to welcome wealth and harmony into my life," or "My kitchen is a magnet for abundance." And of course, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the Journey of Wisdom for more simple, powerful insights rooted in ancient teachings. Now, before we reveal what to bring into your kitchen to unlock its wealth-attracting power, we need to talk about the most common and dangerous mistakes people make that push fortune away without even knowing it. Number 1. Placing a jar of honey in the kitchen. Many wealthy individuals keep something seemingly simple in their kitchen, a humble jar of honey, not merely as a sweetener, but as a symbol of abundance and a magnet for prosperity. This golden substance, long cherished in cultures around the world, carries deep symbolic meaning in Feng Shui and spiritual traditions alike. In Feng Shui, warm tones like gold and amber are known to activate financial energy and attract wealth, making honey a powerful representation of prosperity. Its radiant golden hue isn't just pleasing to the eye, it resonates with the energy of abundance, stability, and growth. Placing a jar of honey in your kitchen, particularly in the southeast corner, which is associated with wealth in Feng Shui, can subtly shift the energy of your home to support financial success. If this spot isn't accessible, a clean and elevated shelf, free from clutter, moisture, or trash, will help preserve the honey's energetic purity. As the Buddha wisely said, "What we think, we become. What we feel, we attract. What we imagine, we create." The intention behind where and how we place things in our living space matters. It becomes an expression of our inner mindset and aspirations. But honey's magic goes beyond color and placement. It is also a lesson in patience and discipline. The bee, one of nature's most tireless workers, creates honey through daily, consistent labor, which reminds us that real wealth isn't about sudden windfalls. It's about sustained effort, clear intention, and the steady building of value over time. When we see a jar of honey in our kitchen each day, it quietly reflects our own journey, small, deliberate steps that lead to long-term success. This simple item becomes a gentle teacher, reminding us to stay focused, grateful, and aligned with our purpose. In Buddhist thought, the path to prosperity, just like the path to awakening, is walked step by step, moment by moment, with mindfulness and compassion. This echoes the timeless words of Confucius: "The man who moves a mountain begins by carrying away small stones." To truly harness honey's energy, attention to detail matters. Storing it in a glass or ceramic jar helps maintain its vibrational purity, as these materials are believed to conduct and hold positive energy better than plastic or metal. which may weaken the qi, or life force, surrounding it. Keep the jar sealed tight, symbolizing the containment of wealth, and you can even add a small coin or dried bay leaf to the bottom. These traditional enhancements are believed to amplify the energy of prosperity and invite new opportunities into your life and career. While some may see these as superstition, others recognize that these small rituals keep our minds focused on abundance, which in turn shapes the way we behave and the choices we make. As the Dhammapada says, all that we are is the result of what we have thought. It is founded on our thoughts. Beyond wealth, honey also carries the energy of sweetness and harmony. In a modern home filled with stress, schedules and distractions, the presence of honey can offer a subtle reminder of unity and kindness. Its natural sweetness is a metaphor for the tone we set within our families, a reminder to speak gently, to nourish each other, and to dissolve tension with compassion. That's why, in many traditions, honey isn't just consumed, it's honored. A simple act like drinking warm honey water each morning not only supports your health, but sets an intentional tone for the day. Rubbing a drop of honey on your hands before an important task can serve as a symbolic gesture of attracting good fortune and smooth progress. Some even place a touch of honey inside their wallet to help retain money and draw in financial luck. These practices may seem small, but they nurture mindfulness, and where there is mindfulness, there is power. In our busy modern lives, where we often chase external success without nurturing inner balance, honey invites us to slow down and realign. True wealth, after all, is not only about having more, it is about living with purpose, peace, and harmony. So, the next time you walk into your kitchen, take a moment to notice that golden jar. Let it be more than just a food. It is a symbol, a ritual, and a daily reminder that prosperity begins with awareness, grows with effort, and thrives in a space filled with love and intention. And in the spirit of Buddhist wisdom, let us remember, health is the greatest gift, contentment the greatest wealth, faithfulness the best relationship. Keep this in your kitchen and in your heart, and you may just find that the sweetness it brings goes far beyond taste. Number 2. Using a Feng Shui rice jar. Let me ask you something. When you open your kitchen cabinet or look at your countertop, do you see a jar filled with rice? If not, you might be missing one of the simplest yet most powerful tools that wealthy families have quietly used for generations to attract and sustain prosperity. This isn't just about food, it's about energy, intention, and alignment with abundance. According to Feng Shui, rice represents more than just a daily meal. It symbolizes life, wealth, and the continuous flow of blessings. In fact, for many families who seem to always have financial stability, a full rice jar is considered their personal wealth vault. They believe that when rice is stored with care and intention, it becomes a magnet for abundance. When that jar stays full, it's a sign that financial fortune is strong, opportunities are flowing, and your efforts are being rewarded. But when the jar is left empty or neglected, it sends a subtle message of lack, inviting uncertainty and stagnation into your life. So ask yourself, what does your rice jar say about your current relationship with wealth? Now, let's look deeper. It's not just about having rice. How you store it matters too. Wealth-conscious households don't just toss rice into any random container. They choose materials that resonate with the earth's grounding energy, like ceramic or earthenware. Why? Because these materials naturally absorb and stabilize energy, helping create a secure, rooted foundation for prosperity to grow. On the other hand, Plastic or metal jars are often avoided because they can scatter energy rather than hold it. This small detail makes a surprisingly big difference. Have you ever considered how the material you use in your home might be influencing your financial flow? Then there's placement. The rice jar should be tucked away, not out in the open where anyone can see it. In Feng Shui, wealth needs to be protected and respected, not flaunted. Positioning the rice jar in a quiet corner of the kitchen, especially in the southeast direction, which is associated with prosperity, can strengthen its energy. It's like setting up a mini sanctuary for your financial growth. And some families take it even further by placing symbolic items like lucky coins or red envelopes inside the jar. These simple additions act like tiny energy boosters. Coins represent the steady accumulation of money, while red envelopes invite good fortune and act as shields against financial loss. But here's something truly wise. Wealthy families also believe in movement. They never let rice sit for too long. They finish the old supply before adding new, symbolizing the continuous flow of wealth. They also clean the rice jar regularly, often using salt water to clear away stagnant energy. This ritual cleansing isn't just about hygiene, it's about resetting intention, making room for new blessings, and honoring the energy of prosperity. So think for a moment, how often do you clear out the old in your life to make space for the new? In the end, it's not just rice, a jar, or a corner of your kitchen. It's about mindfulness. It's about creating a space that reflects your readiness to receive abundance. These small daily habits might seem insignificant, but they carry deep meaning and powerful symbolism. The rice jar becomes a physical reminder of your commitment to stability, gratitude, and wealth consciousness. And here's the deeper lesson. When you care for something with intention, it begins to care for you in return. So take this moment to reflect. How can you bring more care, more attention, and more intention into your everyday routines? What small shifts can you make today that could invite more abundance into your life tomorrow? The rice jar is a symbol, yes, but it's also a practice. And sometimes prosperity doesn't come from big actions, but from quiet, consistent rituals that speak to the energy of enough. Keep your jar full and your heart open, and watch how your life begins to change. Number 3. A full jar of clean water. Let me share something with you that might seem simple on the surface, but holds deep symbolic and practical power. A full jar of clean water placed intentionally in the kitchen. You may have never noticed it before, but walk into the home of someone who seems to effortlessly attract abundance, and you'll often find this quiet presence in their space. In Feng Shui, water is not just a physical necessity, it's a symbol of wealth, flow, and clarity. Now think about that for a moment. When water is clean, still, and full, it represents a steady current, just like we'd want the energy in our lives and finances to be. It's no surprise that many wealthy individuals keep a glass or jar of fresh water prominently displayed in their kitchen, often on a countertop or a clean shelf. This isn't just for aesthetics, it's an intentional act that invites prosperity and reflects a deep understanding that wealth is not only about money, but about the harmonious flow of life itself. And here's something fascinating. The kitchen is considered the heart of the home. It's where nourishment happens, where families gather, where warmth and comfort live. So placing water there, clean, fresh water, connects the energy of abundance directly with the source of life and sustenance. From a Buddhist lens, water is also seen as a metaphor for the mind. Clear water reflects everything truthfully, without distortion, just like a peaceful mind reflects the true nature of things without attachment or aversion. So, if we maintain clarity in our minds and purity in our intentions, doesn't it make sense that clarity in our space, like a jar of water, can help us align with that inner stillness and outer abundance? The Buddha once said, "With our thoughts, we make the world." This is more than a quote, it's a compass. When you place something as humble as a jar of clean water in your home with intention, you are declaring to the universe and to yourself that you are ready to receive, ready to flow, and ready to live in harmony with abundance. It may not change your life overnight, but it begins to shift your energy. It begins to change how you show up. You begin to see that wealth isn't always loud. It can be quiet, reflective, like still water. What would it feel like if wealth came to you not in bursts of stress and hustle, but like a calm stream, steady, nurturing, present? And I want to ask you something. How does your space speak to your intentions? When you walk into your kitchen, does it feel like a place where energy flows easily? Or does it feel stuck, cluttered, maybe even chaotic? Sometimes the outer environment mirrors our inner state more than we realize. Just one small act, like filling a glass jar with fresh water every morning, can be a ritual of mindfulness, a pause in your day, a reminder that your energy matters. When done consistently, these small rituals have the power to reshape not just our homes, but our lives. I personally keep a jar of clean water in my own kitchen, not because I expect it to magically bring money, but because every time I see it, I'm reminded to stay clear in my thoughts, fluid in my responses, and generous in my actions. It grounds me. And I think that's where real wealth begins, not in our bank accounts, but in our ability to create a peaceful, intentional environment that reflects our deepest values. So now I turn the question to you. What small, quiet objects in your home carry meaning for you? Are you using your space as a tool for alignment, or is it just a backdrop to your busyness? How might a simple, beautiful jar of clean water help you reconnect with clarity, flow, and peace? As Zen master Thich Nhat Hanh said, "The present moment is filled with joy and happiness. If you are attentive, you will see it." Maybe that moment begins with a jar of water, and the intention behind it. If you've watched up to this point, you're already unlocking the hidden habits of the wealthy, starting right from the kitchen. Comment "Kitchen Wealth" below to show you're ready to bring abundance into your life in the most unexpected ways. Stick around until the end. There's more to uncover that could shift your mindset and grow your prosperity. Number 4. Fresh fruit in a basket. Fresh fruit in a basket may seem like a simple, even ordinary thing to have in your kitchen, but for those who understand the subtle symbols of wealth and well-being, it carries a quiet yet powerful energy. In many cultures, especially in homes where prosperity is intentionally cultivated, a well-kept basket of fresh fruit is not just decoration. It's a sign of gratitude, abundance, and conscious living. Fruits like oranges, apples, grapes, and even bananas are often chosen not only for their taste, but for their deeper meanings. Oranges, for instance, are widely believed to attract luck and financial fortune, especially in Eastern traditions. Their golden color resembles coins, and their round shape suggests completeness. Apples, crisp and vibrant, symbolize health and harmony in the home, a foundation without which no amount of money can bring true peace. Grapes, especially when presented in bunches, carry connotations of multiplied wealth, blessings that continue to grow rather than diminish. And beyond symbolism, fresh fruit naturally enhances the mood of a home. It tells anyone who enters that this is a space of care, vitality, and intention. The act of placing fresh fruit in your kitchen, regularly replenishing it, and choosing each piece with a mindful touch can shift your mindset toward one of prosperity and stewardship. It reminds you to take care of what you have, to feed your body with natural nourishment, and to surround yourself with life, not just material things. And as we grow older, whether we're in our 30s or approaching retirement, the symbols we keep around us start to matter more. They shape how we see our lives, how we invite opportunities, and how we relate to the deeper layers of success. Wealth isn't just about what's in your bank account, it's also about the energy in your home, your mindset, and your daily habits. A simple bowl of fruit becomes a daily reminder of this, to live with intention, to choose health, to keep beauty present in everyday spaces. It's not a superstition, it's a way to train the mind to look for signs of fullness instead of lack. In modern life, where we often rush through meals and multitask while we eat, the presence of something natural and vibrant on the kitchen counter encourages us to slow down, to make better choices, and to see wealth as more than just financial gain. It becomes about the richness of experience, the joy of sharing a meal with loved ones, the ability to nourish ourselves with simple, wholesome foods, and the visual comfort of knowing that your home provides what you need. When your environment feels abundant, your decisions reflect that mindset. You may find yourself spending more wisely, choosing investments that support your long-term well-being, or simply making healthier food choices that benefit your energy and clarity. These small shifts accumulate, and the kitchen, often called the heart of the home, is the perfect place to start that transformation. So, while a basket of fresh fruit might seem like a small detail, don't overlook its quiet power. Keep it fresh, choose it with care. Let it be a symbol, a practice, and a gentle guide toward living a life that feels truly rich. When we begin to align our physical spaces with our deeper values, we naturally start attracting the kind of abundance that lasts. Not just wealth that comes and goes, but the kind that is rooted in well-being, mindfulness, and a full-hearted approach to life. Kitchen Feng Shui mistakes that are secretly blocking your wealth and happiness. Did you know your kitchen could be silently blocking your wealth and happiness? In Feng Shui, the kitchen isn't just a cooking space, it's the energy center of your home. Small mistakes in this area can quietly disrupt your finances, your health, and even your peace of mind. Now we'll reveal the most common kitchen Feng Shui mistakes that might be holding you back, and how a few simple changes can open the door to abundance and harmony. Let's begin. Number 1. Put the trash can in the kitchen. In Feng Shui, the kitchen is more than just a place where meals are prepared. It's considered the heart of the home, a powerful center of energy that directly influences the flow of wealth, health, and happiness in our lives. This is why even small missteps in kitchen arrangement can have far-reaching effects, often going unnoticed in our busy routines. One common yet deeply overlooked mistake is the placement of a trash can within the kitchen. Though it may seem like a matter of convenience, keeping a trash bin in certain areas of the kitchen, especially near the stove, dining table, or the center, can silently disrupt the energetic harmony of the home. In Feng Shui, the stove represents wealth and prosperity, while the dining area signifies nourishment and family unity, so when a source of decay like a trash can is placed nearby, It not only contaminates the air but symbolically pollutes the energy that fuels our financial growth and emotional well-being. Many people work hard, manage their income wisely, and yet feel like they're always one step behind financially. Money comes in, but it vanishes through unexpected bills or constant emergencies. Some even notice ongoing tension at home, a lack of motivation, or unexplained fatigue. Often, these aren't just random life challenges, but subtle signs of energy imbalance within the living space. The kitchen, when holding stagnant or negative energy, can block abundance from settling in. The trash can is a direct symbol of waste, decay, and things we want to discard. When it's placed in areas symbolizing growth and vitality, it creates a clash like planting weeds in a blooming garden. This conflict can attract unnecessary struggles, arguments among family members, and even health disturbances. It's a simple mistake with surprisingly deep consequences. So what can you do if removing the trash can from the kitchen completely isn't practical? The key is mindful placement and maintenance. First, never place the bin in the southeast corner of the kitchen, which in Feng Shui is the wealth sector. Polluting this area can lead to financial stagnation or loss. Instead, if the trash must stay in the kitchen, position it in a discreet corner, far from the stove and dining space, and always make sure it's covered with a tight-fitting lid. This not only helps contain odors, but also prevents the invisible spread of negative QI energy. It's also wise to clean and empty the trash can daily. Letting garbage linger overnight allows negative energy to settle and grow, quietly influencing the atmosphere of your home while you sleep. Keeping the trash area clean shows the universe and your subconscious that you respect your space and your fortune. Additionally, there are subtle but powerful ways to transform this space from a potential energy drain to a neutral or even positive zone. Sprinkling sea salt at the bottom of the bin is a traditional method to absorb negative energy, while natural elements like dried lemongrass, coffee grounds, or activated charcoal help neutralize bad smells and purify the space. These aren't just old superstitions, they're grounded in an understanding of energy flow, balance, and the emotional environment we create in our homes. In modern life, we often underestimate how deeply our surroundings affect our inner state. But as we bring awareness to the way we live and how we arrange our spaces, we start to notice small but meaningful shifts. When we align our environment with our intentions for peace, prosperity, and joy, our homes begin to reflect those qualities back to us. So take a moment to look at your kitchen not just with your eyes, but with awareness, and ask yourself if it feels like a space that supports your abundance and well-being. If not, small changes, like moving the trash can or cleansing the energy, can be the quiet reset your life needs. Number 2. Place the stove near the sink. Let's talk about something that might be quietly affecting your well-being and your wallet. Something you might walk past every day without giving it a second thought. Your kitchen layout. In Feng Shui, your kitchen isn't just where you cook meals. It's the heart of your home's energy, especially when it comes to wealth and health. One mistake that many people make, often without realizing it, is placing the stove too close to the sink. At first glance, it may not seem like a big deal, but according to Feng Shui principles, this setup causes a serious conflict between two powerful natural elements, fire and water. Fire is represented by the stove, while water is symbolized by the sink. When these elements are placed side by side, they clash in a constant tug of war, weakening each other and disrupting the harmony of your space. Think about it. Water extinguishes fire, and fire evaporates water. When they are forced to compete instead of coexisting peacefully, it creates instability not just in your kitchen, but also in your life. Have you ever noticed how sometimes things just don't flow right at home? Maybe you've had a stretch where tempers flared for no reason, finances felt blocked no matter how hard you tried, or health concerns seemed to appear out of nowhere. What if those aren't just random events? What if they're signs of energy imbalance in your environment, starting right in your kitchen? This isn't just about tradition or superstition. It's about tuning into how your surroundings affect your energy, emotions, and outcomes. Especially problematic is what's known in Feng Shui as the water-fire sandwich. When a stove is placed between two sinks, this layout amplifies conflict, and many Feng Shui masters believe it can lead to ongoing financial losses, legal problems, and repeated setbacks. When you're constantly working hard but seeing little progress, it might be worth asking, what energy am I living in every day? So what can you do if your kitchen already has this kind of layout? The good news is, you don't have to renovate the entire space to restore balance. One practical remedy is simply to create some separation between the stove and sink. At least 24 inches, or around 60 centimeters, is ideal. If you can't move the fixtures, try placing something neutral in between. A small potted plant, for example, can make a big difference. In Feng Shui, plants belong to the wood element, which naturally harmonizes the fire and water elements, acting like a bridge that reduces their conflict. Isn't it fascinating how something as simple as a plant can create such a powerful, energetic shift? You can also consider installing a small partition. Wooden or frosted glass works well. It doesn't have to be complicated or expensive. The goal is to gently redirect the energy, allowing fire and water to do their jobs without stepping on each other's toes. And if rearranging the layout isn't possible at all, then even color can play a role. Avoid too much blue or white. These colors feed the water element and might further weaken the fire. Instead, warm tones like yellow, orange, and red, or natural wood textures can support balance and invite abundance into your home. In the end, Feng Shui isn't about following rigid rules. It's about creating harmony. When the energy in your kitchen flows well, it ripples outward into every part of your life. So take a moment to reflect. Does your kitchen feel calm, balanced, and full of life? Or do you sense friction that you can't quite explain? Sometimes, it's not about working harder, it's about working with the energy around you. Small adjustments can open big doors. The lesson here is simple but powerful. By respecting the natural elements and how they interact in your space, you align yourself with the flow of prosperity, peace, and good health. And isn't that what we're all seeking, deep down? If this idea resonates with you, drop a quick comment. Fire and water need space. Let's see how many of us are already feeling this in our homes. Number 3. Leave the medicine on the dining table. Let me ask you something. Have you ever looked at your dining table and really thought about what it represents in your home? It's not just a surface where you place food. In the eyes of Feng Shui, and even through the lens of mindfulness, it is a sacred space, a symbol of nourishment, family unity, and the flow of abundance. It's where laughter is shared, stories are exchanged, and the energy of love is served along with every meal. So when something like medicine ends up on the dining table, it might seem harmless at first glance, but beneath the surface, it quietly shifts the energy in a way that affects your entire household, and not in a good way. Think about it. When you see medicine every time you sit down to eat, What feeling does that bring up in you? For many, it's a subtle reminder of illness, vulnerability, or worry. This can have a deeper psychological impact than we might realize. For elders in the home, that sight can deepen fatigue, as if their health is a constant concern. For children, it may quietly instill the belief that their bodies are weak or dependent. And for the entire family, this small detail, often overlooked, can plant the idea that health is fragile, that illness is always nearby, and that something is not quite right. As the Buddha once said, all that we are is the result of what we have thought. The mind is everything. What we think, we become. So, if our meals are taken in a space filled with reminders of sickness, how can we expect to feel whole, strong, and joyful? But it doesn't stop there. Feng Shui teaches that the dining table is also tied directly to wealth and prosperity. Yes, wealth. What sits on this table doesn't just affect your body, it speaks to your energy flow, your sense of stability, and even your finances. When you place medicine there, you unintentionally send out a signal that something is always needing repair, that healing is required, maybe not just for the body, but for your financial life as well. Over time, this can manifest in subtle but serious ways: unexpected expenses, business delays, stagnant income, or a strange sense that your efforts aren't yielding the rewards they should. Do you ever feel like money comes in but slips away just as fast? That no matter how hard you try, things stay stuck or uncertain? The energy of your space might be silently contributing to this cycle. So here's what I gently invite you to do. Make a mindful change. Don't let medicine sit on your dining table, not even just for now. Give it a proper place, somewhere respectful and organized, like a closed cabinet or a specific drawer away from where you eat and gather. If someone in your family needs to take medication daily, consider using a discreet, beautiful container and placing it somewhere private. Not only will this preserve the uplifting energy of your dining area, but it will also create a cleaner visual field, helping everyone in the home feel more at ease, more optimistic, and less burdened by the subconscious weight of illness. This is more than just about decor. It's about protecting the spirit of your home. The dining table should be a place of joy, of connection, of wholeness. Buddhism often reminds us to live with awareness, even in the smallest actions. When we eat, when we gather with family, we should arrive fully in that moment, with clarity, gratitude, and a space that supports well-being. So now I want to turn this back to you. What's currently on your dining table? What message is your space quietly whispering to your heart day after day? And more importantly, how do you want to feel when you sit down to share a meal with those you love? These little shifts may seem small, but they are the doorway to greater harmony, peace, and yes, even prosperity. And isn't that what we're all seeking? Number 4. Improper knife storage. Knives may be among the most useful tools in your kitchen, but in the world of Feng Shui, how they are stored can have a powerful impact on the energy of your home, particularly when it comes to wealth, emotional harmony, and overall well-being. While we tend to think of knives in practical terms, Feng Shui sees them as more than just culinary tools. They carry symbolic meaning. Because of their sharp edges and cutting nature, knives are associated with aggression, division, and tension. When they are left out in the open, whether on countertops, stuck into cutting boards, or arranged with their blades exposed, they can subtly disrupt the energy flow in your home. This disruption isn't just metaphorical. Many people have noticed that when sharp tools are left in plain sight, the kitchen can feel colder, more stressful, and less welcoming. Even casual conversations may become unintentionally more tense, and household members may find themselves disagreeing more often without knowing why. In Feng Shui, every object holds energy, and where and how it's placed matters. When knives are stored haphazardly or pointed toward areas like the entrance door, bedrooms, or living space, they symbolically cut the energy that supports prosperity and peace. Think about that. Something as small as the angle of a knife can influence whether your home supports harmony or invites conflict. These details are often overlooked in modern life, especially when we're juggling busy schedules, work, family responsibilities, and the pressures of daily life. But Feng Shui reminds us that even the simplest things, like how we store our tools, can reflect our deeper state of balance or imbalance. Don't shy away from it. If you're someone who feels like you're doing everything right, but still facing money leaks, constant tension at home, or a general sense of unease, don't underestimate these subtle influences. Energy in the home is like a silent partner. When it flows well, life moves more smoothly. But when it's blocked or harsh, everything feels like more of a struggle. So what's the right way to handle this? Start by keeping knives out of sight. Use a dedicated drawer with compartments or a knife block that comes with a protective cover. This isn't just about following a rule. It's about creating a space that feels safe, grounded, and calming. You may not immediately notice dramatic shifts, but over time, as the energy becomes more cohesive and less fragmented, your kitchen becomes a sanctuary of nourishment rather than a source of silent stress. If your kitchen is part of an open-plan living space, this is even more important, because visible knives can send aggressive energy directly into social or resting areas, affecting everyone who walks by. Take note of their direction too. If the blades point toward key areas like the front door, this symbolizes wealth and good fortune being pushed away instead of being welcomed in. And if you're raising children, proper knife storage becomes a double blessing. It's a safeguard for their safety, and it creates a peaceful energy environment that supports their emotional growth. These small adjustments don't require major renovations or expensive decor changes. They're shifts in awareness. Being mindful of how we treat our tools reflects how we treat ourselves and each other. Feng Shui is not about superstition. It's about conscious living. In today's fast-paced world, we all crave more peace, more abundance, and better relationships. And sometimes that begins with something as simple as putting a knife in the right place. Let your kitchen become a space that truly supports your life, not silently sabotages it. Every time you take a step toward harmony, no matter how small, you open the door for more happiness, more flow, and greater fortune to enter your life. Number 5. Do not discard chipped or broken discs. Let's talk about something that might seem small but actually carries a big message in the world of Feng Shui. Broken or chipped dishes in your kitchen. You might be thinking, what's the harm if the plate still holds food? But in Feng Shui, plates and bowls are more than just tools we eat with. They represent wholeness, unity, and abundance. When a dish is cracked, even slightly, it silently symbolizes broken energy, fragmentation, and loss. It's like having a little crack in your home's energetic foundation. The truth is, holding on to these damaged items, even out of practicality or sentiment, can quietly disrupt the harmony in your space and invite more chaos than calm. Ask yourself this: how often do we keep things that are no longer whole just because we're used to them? And how might that be reflecting how we hold on to broken beliefs, strained relationships, or financial struggles. There's an old saying in Feng Shui circles: if your surroundings are cluttered or damaged, your energy will be too. Take a moment to look around your kitchen. Are there chipped bowls tucked in the cupboard? Plates with hairline cracks still being used for daily meals? These small signs may point to larger patterns in life: unfinished business, tension in family ties, or repeated financial setbacks. Feng Shui isn't about superstition, it's about awareness. When you continue to use broken dishes, you're subtly reinforcing the idea that you're okay with lack, with damage, with almost, and that mindset can slowly leak into other areas of your life. So what can you do right now to shift that energy? Start with a simple yet powerful action. Let go of chipped or broken dishes. Not tomorrow, not when you have time, but the next time you open that cabinet and see one. Treat it like a release, a gentle clearing of the old to welcome the new. Don't worry if it was expensive or part of a set. The energy it now carries is no longer serving your home. Wrap it carefully and respectfully remove it from your space. This isn't about waste, it's about intention. And as you do, ask yourself, what else in my life needs clearing or mending? That single step can become the beginning of a new flow of energy in your home and your spirit. Now, consider replacing those dishes with a complete, beautiful and intentional set, ones that reflect your current aspirations and joy. Choose designs that feel peaceful, balanced and nurturing. Every time you serve a meal with them, you're not just feeding the body, you're feeding your home's energy with harmony and care. And beyond just aesthetics, this practice nurtures a sense of wholeness within the family. Meals become more than food. They become rituals of connection, gratitude, and abundance. Can you see how something so simple can become a sacred act of self-respect? While you're at it, expand this habit to other parts of your kitchen too. Check your utensils, appliances, and tools. Are they functioning well? Are they cared for? The energy of your kitchen, often called the heart of the home, should feel alive, clean, and complete. Keeping worn-out items or ignoring broken tools not only blocks energy flow, but also affects your relationship with nourishment and stability. Feng Shui reminds us, when we honor the tools that nourish us, we invite greater blessings into our lives. So here's the takeaway. Wholeness invites wealth, and intention invites peace. Even the smallest cracks in our environment can mirror cracks in our emotional or financial well-being. By choosing to let go of broken things, we're choosing to honor our worth and welcome in energy that supports growth, joy, and harmony. What are you holding on to that no longer reflects who you are or where you're going? Let that question guide your next step, not just in your kitchen, but in your life. Take a moment to reflect. What's one broken or chipped item in your kitchen you're ready to let go of today? Let's start small. Comment below, "I'm letting go of," and name just one thing. Number 6. Placing the dining table in the wrong position. Let's take a moment to talk about something you might not think much about, but it could be quietly affecting your finances, your relationships, and even the overall energy of your home. I'm talking about the placement of your dining table. Yes, that everyday object where meals are shared, conversations happen, and your family gathers. In the practice of Feng Shui, this table isn't just furniture. It's the energetic heart of your kitchen, and when placed thoughtfully, it becomes a powerful magnet for abundance, warmth, and harmony. But when it's positioned carelessly, especially if it's pushed up against a wall, it can actually trap energy, instead of letting it flow, creating a stagnant environment that might be holding you back in ways you don't even realize. Have you ever noticed days when your home feels heavy, conversations seem tense, and money seems to slip through your fingers faster than it comes in? It might sound surprising, but your dining table could be playing a part in that. You see, Feng Shui teaches us that energy, or qi, needs to flow smoothly and freely throughout our space to nourish our lives. When a dining table is cramped into a corner or jammed against a wall, it's like trying to breathe with one lung. There's no space for the energy to circulate, and this affects everything from your family's communication to the flow of wealth into your household. It's like blocking a river. You can't expect fresh water if everything's dammed up. In practical terms, this could show up as financial instability, missed job opportunities, lack of motivation, or even a sense of emotional disconnection between family members. Think about it. Does your dining area feel inviting and open, or does it feel cramped and restricted? That little bit of space between the table and the wall might seem small, but energetically it makes a big difference. Now, let's look at how you can shift that energy. The first and simplest thing you can do is reposition your dining table so that it has breathing room on all sides, even if it's just a little. This subtle change can reawaken the energy in the room, making meals feel more enjoyable, bringing a greater sense of togetherness, and creating a space where prosperity is more likely to settle in. And it's not just about where the table sits. The shape of your dining table also holds symbolic and energetic weight. Round or oval tables are often seen as more harmonious because they allow energy to move smoothly in all directions and encourage equality and closeness. There's no head of the table, which can help dissolve power struggles and reduce tension. On the other hand, square or rectangular tables, especially those with sharp corners, can create a more rigid, hierarchical atmosphere. Have you ever found that arguments tend to spark more during mealtime? It might not just be the conversation, it might be the sharp energy created by your furniture. Try using a soft tablecloth to gently round off those edges and invite in a more nurturing energy. And while we're at it, let's talk about materials and color. Wood, especially in warm, earthy tones, gives off a grounding and comforting vibe. It brings in the element of stability and supports strong family bonds. But if you've got a table made of glass or metal, which can sometimes feel cold or distant, don't worry. You can soften that with wooden placemats, natural fabrics, or warm-tone centerpieces like a bowl of fruit or fresh flower. These touches help balance out the energy, making the space feel more welcoming and abundant. At the end of the day, Feng Shui isn't about superstition or strict rules. It's about awareness. It's about intentionally shaping the spaces where you live your life so they support you rather than drain you. The dining table, although simple, can either support connection and flow or silently stifle it. So ask yourself, is my dining area helping my family grow closer, or is it keeping us energetically stuck? Do you feel nourished, not just physically, but emotionally, when you sit there? Sometimes all it takes is a slight shift to open the doors to something greater. A little space, a little softness, a little more warmth. And in that shift, you might just find not only more comfort, but more clarity, more peace, and yes, more prosperity flowing into your life. Number 7. Not keeping the kitchen clean and tidy. In Feng Shui, the kitchen is not just a space for preparing meals. It is deeply symbolic of abundance, nourishment, and the flow of life energy throughout your home. It represents the warmth of the family unit and the foundation of health and prosperity. When your kitchen is clean and well maintained, it invites clarity, peace, and positive momentum into every area of your life. But when it is messy, neglected, or cluttered, it can silently block the flow of energy, causing subtle but real disruptions in your ability to focus, make sound financial decisions, and feel emotionally balanced. In today's fast-paced world, where stress can pile up as quickly as dishes in the sink, it becomes even more important to treat this space with care and respect. Think about how you feel when you step into a chaotic kitchen. Greasy counters, an overflowing trash can, and yesterday's dishes still soaking in the sink. It creates a heaviness, a sense of mental fog, even irritation. That's not just inconvenience, it's energetic resistance. According to Feng Shui, these physical messes create energetic blocks that can slow down your progress in life, affecting your wealth, your motivation, and even your relationships. On the other hand, when your kitchen is clean, bright, and free of clutter, it sets the tone for your entire home to feel lighter, more welcoming, and aligned with abundance. A clean kitchen becomes a signal to the universe that you're open to receiving blessings, prosperity, and happiness. To align your kitchen with the energy of wealth and well-being, start with small, intentional habits. Wash dishes promptly after meals to avoid stagnant energy collecting overnight. Regularly wipe down countertops, stovetops, and cabinet handles to clear away grease and unseen residue that can dull your home's vibration. Get rid of items you no longer use, chipped mugs, broken appliances, expired spices, because even if they seem harmless, they contribute to emotional and energetic clutter. The key is consistency, not perfection. A few minutes each day spent tidying can create a powerful shift that echoes into how you handle your finances, your time, and your self-worth. Another often overlooked detail is the scent of your kitchen. Smells influence not just our mood, but also how energy moves through a space. A kitchen that carries the scent of stale oil or old food carries with it a heaviness that lingers in the mind and body. Introducing natural fragrances like lemon, orange peel, basil, or lemongrass can purify the atmosphere, refresh your senses, and subtly signal your subconscious that this space is sacred, balanced, and ready to welcome joy. In a modern home, where so many things pull our attention away from mindfulness, these small sensory cues help anchor us back to presence and clarity. So take a moment today and look around your kitchen with fresh eyes. Are there areas that need a little love, organization, or cleansing? Don't wait for the weekend. A quick cleanup now can open doors energetically. Sometimes it is the smallest, most mundane actions that create the most profound shifts in life. A clean kitchen isn't just about impressing guests. It's about honoring yourself, your home, and the flow of energy that supports your happiness and prosperity. When you bring mindfulness into your kitchen, you're not just tidying up, you're clearing space for a more abundant, joyful life to enter and stay. Thank you for joining me today on the journey of wisdom. As we've seen, the kitchen is more than a place to cook. It's a reflection of your energy, your mindset, and your readiness to welcome abundance. Whether it's a jar of honey, a bowl of fresh fruit, or simply keeping the space clean and balanced, these small, intentional choices can quietly shape a life of wealth, harmony, and well-being. If this video inspired you or gave you a fresh perspective, please take a moment to like, share, and subscribe to the Journey of Wisdom. And don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you won't miss our upcoming videos, filled with timeless insights to help you live with purpose and peace. Until next time, may your kitchen be a sanctuary of joy, and may your life overflow with harmony and abundance.